Hey everybody, welcome to the third hour here of Once Upon a Game. We're playing MTO's game, The Circle, a game of wizardry, magic, and moonshining, apparently. So
It can be a game of a
it's a game
lot
of
of
everything.
things.
Yeah.
Be
So,
a game of a lot of things. I think I think that night, uh, Martin. I think you're getting ready to go to sleep. I'm guessing you have like your own room or like a little shack or something you sleep in on the homestead. But you look outside.
Yeah.
Moon's perfect tonight. Moon is perfect. You get some primo quality moonbeam from this.
So what I think might happen sometimes is like you might even get a full moon, but then it's cloudy night and then you're kind of fucked.
Moon's perfect.
Of course I take the opportunity.
Okay.
How can I not?
Do you bring anyone with you and tell me where your still is?
No. I pointedly fucking don't.
So okay, you're going alone, right? Tell me about your still.
It is. It's part like glass looping in on itself, like a still normally is. And half of it is like these mirrors that concentrate moonlight, and then a bunch of other
there's just a bunch of
talismans and shit.
Weird magic going on.
Okay.
So you start to. Is it in like a house or is it just exposed to the air? What's the deal?
I have one more thing.
Yeah.
In this current time, what do we have for like a recording equipment? Like wax cylinders have been.
Yeah, there's like wax cylinders and stuff. Like you could like, are you talking audio?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could like record audio off of like a record.
Yeah, I have like a wall of whispered words of power on a wax cylinder, and I load that in, and there's a gramophone that's just like this eternal susurrus coming out of the.
Okay.
I was thinking about
the tulip
vinyls.
shape.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, just this. And just
Yeah. So we hear
then like the bubbling of like distillery and shit.
Yeah. So we see the moonlight concentrate onto the membrane of like fine silk or whatever. And we start to see like these little like drops of liquid form and drop into the tube and spiral up the tube and into the bottle, into the jar that's sitting above it. So you're out here. You're kind of doing your thing, and I think you hear something distinctly not natural. It sounds like a person moving through the trees.
So I do a trick where I jump my eyesight to figure out where the sound is coming from and see if it's just an animal or
Okay.
A lot of what I'm doing right now is actually mundane, so it's actually not that hard for me to just astral project, snap to where the sound is coming from.
Astral projection is definitely an essence effect.
Okay, cool.
Actually, it's probably a law effect.
Law being
fate and essence.
Okay, cool. That is rather bad for me. But okay.
it's not as dangerous as it could be because it's an allied pair.
Yeah, that's true. -2.
No dice.
Nope.
So yeah, I think you go to do that. And right as your consciousness leaves your body for a split second, you've like a heavy gloved hand like rests on your shoulder.
The shoulder of my spirit
Your
self
body.
or my... Okay,
Or your body.
gotcha.
Your body. And in the astral plane, you see a guy just like take your arm and start to like tie up your arms behind your back while you're out of your body.
Should have fucking brought the 12-year-old.
You immediately, this guy's FBI. Cops have found your still.
Agents. Oh no.
Cops have found your still, bud. Just like, yeah, the rights. You have the right to remain. And he stops the recorder. He's like, all right, get back in your body. You have the right to remain silent.
So then, wordlessly, I'm going to break the container of the moonshine, and we are going to set the magic of that shit free.
So you just want to create like a magical
jar break, crystal polygonal structures on the floor, and then this silvery white substance like stays and like maintains its form, like maintains the old form of its container, and then starts smoking out and then like dispersing and then filling the entire shack that I was brewing in.
Perfect. Roll. So you just want to break the jar.
What I'm doing is
if your effect is I want to break the jar, devil may care what happens.
Yeah,
that's blood. And take your silence of passion.
So in my head, I was concentrating more on what the effects of the moonshine are.
Okay.
I am sort of invoking the powers of the moon and what the moon does. And the moon obviously makes people go to sleep.
So you're just going to be like, okay, that's really clever, actually. Yeah, I'll take that. I am going to have you make a roll resistance so that you don't fall asleep.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay. So everybody roll resistance for me, my dear friend.
2d6 plus 3.
Finally.
I'm pulling an Ann here. I nail that resistance every time.
Box card.
So yeah, we see the like glass, like you just look at the glass for a second and it shatters. Or maybe you like hit it with a hammer or something. And then the light just disperses after a split second, the light just disperses. And your limbs feel heavy and your head feels heavy and you kind of like nod for a second, but you shake it off. You've been exposed to this stuff all the time, right?
Yeah.
This agent,
I have to be awake in it literally all the time.
Just falls over. Falls over. Back at the house, Ryder, why are you up at this late of an hour? What are you doing?
Good question. I think Ryder is just he's having a walk. He's having a walk through town. He is literally steaming. Like he's just breathing heavily, and it's just like way too much like cold turned into mist because his like blood is running hot.
Okay, and I think Are you going to see anybody in town in particular?
I think he's going.
Maybe your girlfriend or something like that.
I think he is going to sort of like the local sort of bar in town.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bar. There's a bar. It's. I mean, it's not really a bar because they can't. It's not alcohol that's banned here. It's moonshine. So There's a difference. So yeah, you go to a bar. And you arrive. You arrive, and the woman that works there that you're pretty good friends with. Her name is Jezebel.
Okay.
She's serving drinks, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Ryder.
Yeah,
How you doing tonight?"
I pull up a bar stool and I'm like, well, not too good.
Not too good. And she like starts to like pour you a drink. She's like, come on, what's eating you? You're steaming, boy.
You know, you of course know Jim Bob and Darlene.
She just shakes her head. She's just like, those idiots.
Yeah, they ended up ruining a job for me tonight.
That sounds like something they do. I know you and Mother Jane are working together. Was it one of her bits?
It was.
So what you're saying is she's probably just a little bit pissed off right now.
Yeah.
Well,
you know her.
Tell you what. I'll have my mama, not your mama, whip up some nice apple pie for her. It'll be a great treat. Bring it there. We'll see how she's doing tomorrow morning. Sound good?
Sounds great.
As for now, and she's going to proceed to get you very drunk.
Yeah.
If she can convince you to. Can you go ahead and roll resistance for me?
Sure. That sounds good to me. Gonna roll that.
Snake eyes.
2d6 plus 3. 11.
Okay. Good things happen to you. So we're gonna cut away from we just see you and her like drinking across the bar. We're gonna fade to black on that scene, and we'll come back in the morning. Mother Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna go to Jade as well. I think you two both wake up at the same time.
Sure.
Mother Jane, you wake up because you're always paying attention, and Jade wakes up because
Thicket
is like bouncing on your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Thicket's like, wake up.
What?
There's bad people outside.
What kind of bad people?
They got badges and flashlights.
I immediately jump out of bed and run to McGrand's room. And I'm guessing she's already up. And
yeah.
Can I get help from somebody for a spell?
You can like you two can pool resources.
So
it would just give you like a +1.
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we disguise our place so like they just don't see it.
You just your house just disappears and they can't find a way in.
Yeah. Like they're just like they hear it's around here close and stuff like that, but then they walk through the woods and it just goes through, it's nothing. It's winter.
It's what's it called? It's like from The Magicians where the university or whatever is like you go up to it and then you're like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to turn around and walk away now."
Yeah.
I'm just
like maybe
it's either I'm willing to hear an argument for
illusion.
For it's an illusion. You're being deceitful.
Deceitful?
Yeah, this feels like deceit to me.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because I'm not exactly sure what the use cases would be, but what is Twilight and when would it come into effect?
It's Twilight, like when you ignore laws.
Twilight is saying this is reality. It no longer applies to me.
Gotcha. Okay. No.
Twilight is beginnings and endings. Deceit doesn't change reality. It just makes it appear different.
Yeah.
But Twilight is like, no, this is permanently different.
Like if Twilight would be like if you were like, I want to move the house.
Yeah.
I want to like.
No, yeah. Instead, I'm just obfuscating it, and
Yeah.
so they don't see it.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're-
deceit.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now if you were just like the house no longer exists until they leave, then yes, that would be Twilight.
Look at your stats. Look at your stats. Play it out.
Look at what
out.
you're good at.
Yo,
This
just
is
roll.
like-
Yeah,
Power
no,
game this
I gotta go with
Johnstone,
Twilight.
that's good,
I
this
gotta
shit.
go with Twilight because
You
I
have
think
to.
we're phasing it to a different realm. And here's what I'm thinking: what it looks like.
Okay.
From our perspective, we have lilies outside our house that are white, and then when this happens, it still looks the exact same way as it does outside. But the lilies turn into like galaxy lilies, like they have lilies that look like that instead of being white are like black, and they have like speckles in them that makes it look like stars, or like purple with white.
Cool.
Makes, it just looks like
Yeah,
things
yeah.
around
So
it.
some crazy. Like
And
the
that's
plants.
the representative to me of the Twilight of us being in
Okay.
this thing. It's like almost like ultraviolet.
So you're
colors.
shifting. You're like shifting it into the spirit world for a second.
Yeah, as like so it's like to a different dimension. So when the FBI agents come looking for us, they see no traces at all.
Yeah, like all the colors invert and get like hyper saturated. Go ahead and roll me that essence. We'll see how.
But I need my granddaughter's help for this.
Yeah, if you're
And so I take her by the hand and I say, like, there's not a lot of time. Like, you need to help me with this.
I mean, if you're leading, you get a +1, and she's bound to your failure.
Well, that's good. Because my
Don't
death
fail.
and essence are -1s.
So the -1 comes in after the average. So you're sitting at a 0.
No, it's a net
The
of -1.
+1 comes in
+1.
after the.
So it's you're at a -1 and a -1. The +1 comes in after, so it's a 0.
+1.
Mhm.
So it's a 7.
No, it's It's a -1 and a +1, or a +1 and a minus.
No. It's a net of -2. So both of my stats are -1 apiece, and
so
then I get
-2 divided by 2, -1, +1, 0.
So it'd actually be an 8, Eric.
Oh,
so
It's the average, not combined.
Sorry.
Of the two stats.
Nice. Okay.
It's an 8. So something goes a little wonky.
Sure.
Something goes a little wonky. I think.
Well, we're not really supposed to do this, so there's something. It's probably risky to phase to here.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Right.
It's dangerous.
But it's not as. But my logic is that it's not as dangerous as being found by the FBI. So
It
we're
is
willing.
definitely. It is definitely not.
Well, it is. There's a different kind of dangerous, though.
It's a different kind of dangerous. So
it's
yeah,
dangerous you're willing to mix with, whereas
the
Yeah,
house disappears for a second. The guy, and you can like see the guys moving around in the real world, and they're just like, where'd they go? And after like you actually like I think a guy actually like walks like through the wall and like right past you in the real world because the house isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe he even like pauses to like look right at Jane
Like
for a
through
second.
us. Yeah, like through us. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just keeps walking.
Yeah.
So yeah, you phase back. You phase back. Now the complication comes when you guys phase back in. The complication comes when you guys phase back in, and I think the house has kind of become a little bit unstuck from reality. And so sort of what you're dealing with is sometimes the house just won't. When the house decides it's not there, it's not there. It's sort of where you're at.
Oh well, I mean that's a way better problem to have than the cops. So
That is a much better problem to have than the cops.
You now live in Schrodinger's house.
yeah, I can fix that.
Yeah, you can.
Maybe.
Don't fail the roll again. It would be a law effect to reverse it. So yeah, I think we see what everybody does in the middle of the night, and we wake up the next morning. So I'm gonna go right to my good friend Martin. So
I got a question.
yeah.
What's a really good place to dump a body from a really large height around here? I imagine a lot of places, right?
Yeah, that's not hard. Just So do we see you just carrying this police officer over to a train track and just pitching him off the side?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I lived up in the mountains. People go missing all the time.
I can see why you made a game about serial killer home renovators. So yeah, Eric's like, oh, I want to play this game now.
Yeah.
pitches the dude over the side. Yeah,
and this is totally like I have to walk on the train track bridge and then like dump the body, and then I walk back, and this is like it's something I did when I was a kid, and because for some reason in the Midwest there's this thing where it's like, oh yeah, I just played on the train tracks, and we had to jump off one time.
We didn't have a pool.
To, like, scene of you like whistling as you exactly. as you're like balancing on the railroad ties, walking out over this like trestle bridge. You get to the highest point on it, and you just like take this guy off your shoulder and just drop. And we see you turn around, and a couple seconds later we hear the as his like skull cracks and he shits himself as he dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty brutal.
And I think Martin winces because he is definitely not a cold hard killer, and he didn't expect that sound to happen. It was like, oh, I'm just going to turn around and then everything's going to be fine. And then it's like, nope, I fucking heard that. I didn't want to hear that.
You hear all the bones in his body crack, and he bounces. Yeah, it's bad.
Well, that's what hell sounds like. And then I just keep walking because I have to.
Yeah. Okay. You get back and the house isn't there.
Yep.
You get back and the house isn't there. So are you just like, well, I guess I'm hanging out until the house comes back?
Yeah, go to somebody else. I just look confused and I'm just like, and this is what hell looks like.
So
does Ryder come back at the same time Martin does, and they're both like,
Ryder is indisposed.
Okay.
Ryder. You wake up in a room you don't recognize. It's like someone's like bedroom. Clearly, it's like a person's house. You're not like in prison or anything like that. You're just like laying on the bed looking at the ceiling. And you're like, I'm in a room I don't know. What do you do?
Ryder.
I was muted. I just want everyone to know I was muted. What's around me? What kind of room is it?
You're in. It's like a fairly like what you would imagine someone who more or less like lives alone would look like. Like it's like just a young person's room.
All right. Do I still have all my possessions?
You're not wearing any clothes, and there's a person next to you.
Okay, who's the person?
Jezebel, clearly.
I just want to verify that I wasn't robbed. Do I see my belongings anywhere?
Oh yeah, everything you have is here.
Okay.
Everything you have is here.
Then I grab my belongings, re-equip all my items.
Yeah, you gotta get your inventory slots figured out and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff. Reorganize my inventory.
So you start, and then you can definitely hear conversation downstairs.
Yeah, I guess I wake up Jezebel.
Well, hey, Ryder. That was fun. How'd you see?
I waved to her. Good.
I hope it was just better than good.
No, I mean I slept good.
She gently like pats your cheek. She's like, "You'll figure it out eventually, honey." this would be a good time.
Yeah.
Are you just like not gonna bring up the fact that there are people talking downstairs in the house where she lives alone?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when does that come up in the conversation? Minus the flirting.
I'm just trying to. I couldn't find a good way to bring it up, darling. I'm really sorry.
I just, interesting question. Are you expecting company?
No.
Because there's people downstairs.
Oh Lord. Go out the window. she starts to like open the window, and then she like looks out and sees something, and she like ducks back behind the window. She's like, yeah, cops are here. We're in trouble. So you the situation you find yourself in, you had a big night.
Yeah.
Now your date friend from the bar that you hooked up with is not wearing pants. There are cops outside and someone that you don't know about downstairs.
Right. I can only hope that whoever is downstairs is someone else and not more cops.
It's Michael. I wouldn't count on it.
That's true. So yeah, I looked at Jezebel and I'm like, all right, stay here. I'll handle this. And I open the door and I go downstairs.
Yeah. And I think we see, we see, he has like a bandage over his eye. But and he's like kind of like his eyebrows are all burnt off, but we see Jim Bob sitting at her kitchen
fucking damn it, Jim Bob. I hate Jim Bob.
See Jim Bob sitting at the kitchen table.
I've hated him since you've named him Jim Bob, and I've only grown to hate him more.
He's just sitting there. And he's like drinking a beer, and it's like 7:00 in the morning.
No, fuck Jim Bob. Fuck him having
and
his
sister's
names.
there, and she's just like, is it really necessary to walk in on him and like catch him right after he's finished enjoying the pleasures of Babylon? This doesn't feel mighty civil. I feel like we should at least wait for him to get down the street. And yeah, you just see them having this conversation about jumping you, basically.
I think say. It certainly does seem stupid.
They both just look at you and they're like, look at each other. Well, hi. This is awkward.
Yeah.
And Jim Bob's just like, nah. Yank. I got a message for you from Mr. Jeb. He needs you to talk to the women folk into working for him. Or I'm supposed to kick your ass. Eric's just like,
they're doing the anime. No, he's doing the like. That's a good joke, and that's perfect.
Oh, Jim Bob. I don't think I've heard anything dumber leave your mouth. All right. Bring it on.
Do you do like a stretch? Like
yeah, make a resistance roll for me.
Sure. 2d6 plus 3, 14.
Okay. So he just like looks at you. And he's like, Dance, fucker. And then you like start to feel your body start to like force itself to move, but you just like shrug it off, even though like all your muscles are like squeezing, trying to get you to move.
Mm-hmm. And I walk downstairs fully, and
shit.
point my arm at him, and I go, "Now you dance," and I shoot a firebolt at him.
Oh God, your arm does the glowy, infamous thing.
Now you dance.
Yep.
Fireball. Yeah, roll your blood, buddy.
2d6 plus 3, 13.
So yeah, just gout of fire, just like runs across.
Jim Bob again?
Yeah, you just killed Jim Bob again. I think Jim Bob just falls over, just like dead.
Twice in 1 week.
You literally killed Jim Bob twice.
Darlene's
Dead one shot.
He died last night.
And Darlene's just like, well, now I gotta fix him again. Damn it.
It's like, I'm like, well, shit, Darlene, you should get some better craftsmanship. That Jim Bob was weak as hell.
Oh, what do you want me to do? I've repaired his body like 20 times.
You know what? Yeah, I think it's time for a reveal.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at her and I extend my arm and
Whoa, hey. I wasn't here to kick your ass. I was just here to, fix my brother when you killed him again.
And I say to her, it's like, Darlene, you know the funny thing about blood is it can also run cold. And then I shoot an ice bolt at her.
God damn it, dude.
Roll
Thank
blood.
God this isn't in my house. Yeah.
Roll blood, please.
2d6 plus
Thank
3.
God this isn't in my house.
9. But only partial this time. It wasn't a 10 plus.
So, yeah, you just impale her with an ice bolt. She just looks at it. She's like, it just falls over.
Nice.
And then you just hear Jezebel screaming from the top of the stairs. and then you start to hear like cops outside yelling. They're like, go in. So now the cops are coming inside.
How can they when there's no door?
That's the thing you could do.
Or you can make
They
the
just
door
keep trying to open doors, and it's just the same door. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You keep
the door,
opening doors, and there's another door.
You make it like you set portals on opposite walls, so it's like they open the front door and you just come out the back door.
I'm not good at illusions.
No, that's a change effect.
That would be a 0.
Yeah, let's do it.
You just gotta dream these doors where you open the door and then you're suddenly like, oh.
You know what?
Yeah, that.
You know what? I go for it.
All right, roll your change.
All right, 2d6 flat. 8.
Okay.
That's not the worst it could be.
So it works. It works, but I think it takes the guy like one of the cops opens the door. It's like he sees 2 dead bodies. He's like, freeze, and he just shoots, and a bullet wings you, and then he shoots again, and then the bullet enters the room and then just disappears.
Yeah.
And then you hear some other guy get shot on the backside of the house.
Oh, as it went through.
Oh no! The guy who was guarding the back window just took a bullet in his back. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jezebel's screaming. You're surrounded by cops in a house that doesn't have doors.
Look, it's fine.
Jade and Mother Jane. You guys have successfully unshifted the house.
Yeah, we have de-anchored our house from reality, and now
So,
we're trying to
you guys
re-anchor
step out
it.
of your house adrift through time and space and dimensions. And Martin is there, just like looking kind of horrified that he just murdered a man.
I don't imagine you did this for no reason.
We're doing this precisely to stop us from having to murder people. Killing draws bodies, and bodies bring cops. It's unwanted attention. So if we can do things that ignore that, it means that we can keep running shine. It means that, and it means that our family can still be together.
I say nothing.
I knew we should have.
I just freeze.
Knew we shouldn't have been partnering with these people who aren't like us. I say.
Think it is like swinging from a single lock of Jane's hair, like it's like a rope swing, just being cute because she's a little fairy. So yeah, you just kind of told him you're.
Oh look, and I'm here, and I haven't fulfilled my promise either. So I'll just see my way out, and then I just disappear.
You just walk away.
Yeah.
Good,
Okay.
I say angrily. Wishing you did.
I nod angrily
Right.
as well.
It's literally my
That's-
entire life.
I haven't done what I was supposed to do, so I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
The
This is the
nerve of
moment-
some people.
Is this the moment when you guys are, where the heck is Ryder?
Well, maybe, but that's what I say. That's what I try to say to Jade, right? And be like, it's like, I'm obviously referring to magic when I'm saying this. When I say it's really easy to try to kill people, it's a lot harder to keep to do it right though. And I hope you remember that one day.
She just nods.
Yeah.
Look at
And
you
then-
being a good parent.
She's obviously able to speak far more profoundly than I can, but like
No.
right?
I like it. I like it.
I think at this point, like Jade kind of looks around and is like, "Where's that idiot?"
Yeah, where is that dumbass? And then we cut.
So there's I don't even know anymore.
Look, I can fix this.
So you're in a house. There's a screaming woman that you just got done being with. There are two bodies in the kitchen. One of them is burnt. The other is impaled with a spike of ice. A cop has been shot in the backyard, and the doors don't work.
First of all, that
And
wasn't
you've
my
been shot.
fault. Yeah, I mean,
What? How many conditions are you at?
I have one, which is battered. Did I take a second one when I
Yeah,
got shot?
you took a nicked with a bullet, basically.
Nicked. I have two conditions.
Okay, so Jezebel's like, what's going on? What's happening?
Look, it's just I don't know. Apparently, someone called the cops. Apparently, Jim Bob and Darlene brought the cops with them, which I did not anticipate. Because, really, who the fuck is going to listen to Jim Bob and Darlene?
You just like kick their bodies.
Yeah. I was like, all right, look, I said I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it.
What absurd effect would you like to try and pull off to get yourself out of this situation?
Okay. And so we're in a kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And So I look at Jezebel and I say, how attached are you to your oven?
Oh, she just looks at you and she's like, I'm less attached to my oven than I am to my freedom or my life.
All right. I stuff Jim Bob and Darlene's bodies in the oven and I burn the shit out of them.
Okay.
Hansel and
Dude,
Gretel
what
them.
the fuck, man?
I Hansel and Gretel them. That's what I...
You're gonna need magic to incinerate them in any relative amount of time. Roll blood, I guess.
2d6 plus 3, 12.
Bodies are gone.
We're just like, all right, first problem dealt with. Second problem, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Has anyone ever told you you're a scary little fucker?
Yes. In fact, almost everyone has told me that.
Okay,
Not
good.
the people important to this operation.
Yeah.
So,
oh, how are we gonna get out of here? The house isn't real. I made the house not real.
Just open the door and leave. Go somewhere else. Come back to
But
the
there's
farm.
still cops outside.
No, but then no. You literally make the door and then you open it and it goes into the farmhouse.
Okay, that's fine.
now you're thinking with portals.
Now I'm thinking with portals. Can I bring Jezebel with me?
You can try.
I don't want her getting in trouble.
You can
All
try.
right, I'm gonna turn the door into a sort of teleportation gate, which is going to require another fate roll. I feel like, which is going to kill me.
Oh God, another. All right.
Yeah. Roll your change because you're using a physical object to have a physical effect.
Is there any way I can get a +1?
Somebody has to help you, right?
I have an ability that gives me +1 forward when passions are high and I die.
Oh yeah, you get
consequence.
that. That's no problem. You're just not caring.
Okay.
Silence of Passion applies.
2d6 plus 1, 8. God damn it.
So
it works, but
we cut to so yeah, you're like okay, it should be good. You like grab Jezebel's hand and you like open the door and step through it. We cut over back to the farmhouse. Martin is starting to walk away. Jane and Mother Jade are Jane and
yeah
are just like looking at each other and just like, where's that idiot? And then you and Jezebel fall naked out of the sky and just crash into the ground.
Do we lose our clothes in the teleporter?
Yeah, you lost your clothes in the teleporter. Well, she wasn't wearing clothes. You were just like wearing her pants.
She was wearing like a shirt.
Honey, I say to Jade, like, go get some towels. And
Jade just like Jade's eyes squint and she just shakes her head and walks away.
So
man, that was my good coat.
Martin, two of your friends, two people just like fall. You hear that same sound again, that clunk of like a body hitting the ground right behind you.
Who is it?
No, it's them hitting the ground behind him.
Yeah.
You just turn around.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely turn around and I'm gonna try to help them up and stuff. See what's going on.
Yeah. They're a little banged up from falling out of the sky.
Yeah, and be like, all right, I let them know, like Jade's run off to get you a change of clothes and stuff. Let's see if we can see what we can do with you and try. I'm purposely going to spend more time helping Jezebel as to rub it in, right? Because I know it wasn't her fault right?
Mhm.
And like, I'm so sorry about him. You know, he's a crazy person. And I look over, like, I look over. You're obviously still welcome to come in and stuff, but I just say like, you deserve someone better. As I bring her inside.
Jade comes back with a dress for Jezebel and a larger dress for Ryder.
This suddenly became an anime. I mean, if it wasn't already, it definitely is now.
Yeah.
So
Not gonna say that I literally took inspiration for my character's magic from an anime character's powers.
no, I figured as much. So I guess another cut to everyone sitting around the table for breakfast. Jezebel's in a kid's dress. Ryder is in.
I think it's the other way around. No.
An old dressed just like an old woman.
Does he have a bonnet and everything?
Yeah, he has a bonnet and everything. I'm assuming you just like take that off, and that's like the shot we see to introduce you to the dress. So Martin, what are you doing? Have you just like left? Or are you're just gone? Okay. Eric, how long are we planning to go exactly? Do we got one more break in, or are we wrapping up here?
No, we need to wrap up around pretty soon. Next like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the final shot. Is we just see this ridiculousness, the chaos that thou hath wrought on one another.
Just another day in paradise.
Yeah.
You guys are all just sitting there, and we see. And then, the last shot is the last shot is Martin driving out and getting like flagged down by. Yes,
I have another idea.
You have another idea.
Since they somewhat rely on me being able to make the moonshine, I am just going to take a pistol and shoot my own distillery, and then there's the explosion that comes from that, and then.
Oh no!
I was thinking of that from the final shot, so that we can have an explosion as the final shot.
So we like see everybody.
No,
we pan over Mother Jane's.
Put on
pan over Mother Jane's
shoulder.
shoulder.
I do look at the explosion because I'm blind. I can't see that shit.
Yeah,
damn. Confirmed, not a cool guy.
Yeah, perfect. Orange face just from from all the lighting.
And that was the circle, kids. What y'all think?
This is a good game.
I hated the system.
I am aware that the person who has played this game more than I have hates this system.
This is really good.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
There is a kernel of like, this is a very this feels like the foundation, like, or like even like right now it's like complete. We just played this game together, right? Like it feels like it's here. I think playing. I'm interested in seeing how it works like long term and stuff like that.
If you want to check it out, you can go to youtube.com/Tuxtradamus.
Oh wait, where is that? At youtube.com/Tuxtradamus?
Tuxtradamus.
Yeah, where we play to find out.
Yeah, play to find out. Play to find out. This was first shown off on the Play to Find Out series of role playing games. We did a really cool camp. We did a really cool. I think it ended up being about 10 sessions or maybe 7.
Yeah.
I got eaten by a deceit whale.
Yes, the deceit whales.
Yeah,
and all of my memories were not my memories because I had fucked with my memories so much via magic to like make myself know things that I just forgot my past.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing.
It's interesting.
Sorry, drummer boy.
In a longer term game, it tends to cap out around 12 sessions. Is about where it sits, and that's on the power curve. Generally speaking, it's run like any other Apocalypse game. Make a bunch of fronts, take them forward as time goes on. And people just slowly start to like. It's interesting when people start taking advances to be like on 2 or 3 different domains.
Yeah.
Because then stuff gets real weird.
We had a whole issue with like a spirit that was split across like 3 domains. It basically exploded, but whatever.
So, what I'm interested in is because like I love how you could just kind of. I'm interested, but also terrified at the same time of just how like free you are to just make magic without knowing the consequences of what's going to happen.
Well, that's part of the conversation of the game.
Yeah.
That's part of the conversation of the game is like when
like
I'm gonna use an example from the previous playtest when Liz was like, I'm in a pocket dimension. I'd like to make another pocket dimension. Okay, how would you like to make that a pocket dimension? Deceit. Okay, you're in a pocket dimension inside of a pocket dimension. You want to make another pocket dimension. How would you like to do that? Deceit. Yeah. Okay, you realize none of this is real. One.
I only went into 2 pocket dimensions, okay? Don't make me sound super crazy. I'm only pretty crazy.
Well, then you created a book with Twilight that actually was real. That came out of the Deceit library that was weird. Yeah, and then you tried to go into another layer deeper. And I was like, you do realize that you're like pressing your magic pretty far. My
character was reckless.
Generally speaking, there's sort of like two levels of consequence. There's major consequence, which is
soft
something
moves
like,
and hard moves. Effect.
Yeah, basically, right? And like a minor consequence is you are in a more dangerous situation usually, or some other complicating element shows up. It's never like you got eaten by a deceit whale. That's when you fail a roll, and you get 2 conditions, or you can do conditions, which are another kind of like punishment method.
Yeah.
But they're also an XP farm, so they're not a bad thing to get.
Yeah, part of me would be like, I mean, like, have you ever tried playing with that? Like, being able to say, like, I want to make this effect. Okay, well, that's going to call, like, the possible consequence of failure for that is this. Is that worth it? Do you want to turn it up? And if you turn it up, you get experience.
We've definitely had that conversation.
Like, kind of like Blade's Desperate kind of stuff. Like,
we've definitely had that conversation with really dangerous effects.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. No, that makes a lot of sense.
That conversation started happening after Tux murdered way too many people.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I gotta tell this story to embarrass Tux real quick. First session Tux had ever played the game. Second playtest ever for this game. Tux accidentally murders 33 people and an assortment of dogs.
After that, Michael was like, "Let's talk about the real serious, like the real serious shit you want to do. Let's discuss it a little bit."
Yeah. That was when I realized I was like, okay, I maybe need to talk to people about consequences of, calling down a lightning storm on a crowd of protesters.
Yeah, you do.
So it's there's definitely a learning curve to both GMing and playing it, which is definitely the weirdest thing I've noticed, because you learn kind of the like what's an interesting effect to kind of deal with.
Yeah. You know what my first idea is?
What?
Hacking this game to play The Matrix.
You so could. That would not be hard at all.
You're bending reality, and the more you do it, the higher,
more
the
dangerous.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not even sure you'd have to change the poetry here.
No, you don't really.
You could just we're playing in a virtual world.
Just keep all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
like it could literally just be another campaign. The setting is just the Matrix.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's not a bad idea.
But, and the spirits are like, that's the thing you can totally do.
This is good. Like, I'm a big fan of Powered by the Apocalypse style games. Basically, everything you do is defying danger, and you're just interpreting what that danger is.
How you're doing that,
yeah, and like that's a really solid way to build a game. So I'm always a fan of it.
I remember a lot of this game came from me sitting down and playing Mage and being like,
how can I make this less headachy?
Yeah, like what I want to do is I want to be like
complicated for what it wants to do.
What I wanted to do is I want to be like, this is what I want. How do I get there? Because that's sort of how I come about role-playing games in general, is like, this is what I want to happen. How do you get there? And so I designed the whole system around that, and the domains and the alignments and all that fun stuff. But it's a really great game. It's really fun to GM. I'm kind of biased. But if you ever want an exercise in dealing with ridiculous stuff happening out of nowhere, GM this game, because every once in a while you have to be like, you get eaten by a deceit whale. I don't know.
Got to, you know.
Every once in a while you have to be like, well, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for hanging out.
Yeah, my thoughts on the game, I thought it was pretty good, even as someone who's not the largest fan of Powered by the Apocalypse as a system. I think it's fine. I don't especially like certain aspects of it. What I would want to see from this game fully fleshed out would just be more like maybe like advanced moves for the playbooks, more like sort of just fleshed out what like maybe sort of fleshed out advancement trees or something like that. Just
it very much your character very much advances like kind of like a spider web. You kind of like spider web out in all directions.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I enjoyed playing it. I want to see more of it.
Drummer Boy, as the resident musician, you're now on the hook to found a band called Deceit Whale. But
good old Deceit Whale.
And then I know Liz's opinion about this game, because every time I talk about the circle, they're like, I miss playing the circle.
I love the circle so much.
But yeah. Do you guys have any? We didn't really worry about any of the end of session stuff just because we didn't have time. But do you guys have any other thoughts?
Not offhand. I would definitely be down to play this game again sometime. This is cool. I like it.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Never. Your last game that started as a playtest just wrapped up. So, hint, nudge, nudge.
Maybe.
Never Sunny in the Circle.
No, God. I can't. No. Yeah.
I also
I'm not
like
the anything right now.
I'm a big fan of booting up a tabletop RPG, going into a Roll20 page and being greeted with a pentagram.
Yeah, right.
I could not think of a better symbol to like represent this stuff.
It's just like it just reminds me of every time I tried to convince someone to play Dungeons and Dragons. I was always lead in with the sentence, "Have you ever played Satan's game?"
Yeah, and now you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
If that's everything,
yeah, guys. All right, this has been another episode of Once Upon a Game. We're gonna, and I'll link in the for the YouTube audiences. I'll link the your Discord in the description so people can follow along and see your progress with the circle. I'm interested in this a lot. Can't wait for it to go on Kickstarter.
Me too, because then I can start making money off of it.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty. I'm really all I'm really doing is fiction writing at this point. Like it
should bring it to Go Play Northwest, and also go to Go Play Northwest.
Man, if I had the money to Go Play Northwest, I so would. But maybe next year. All right, we'll meet at Gen Con. How's that?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Are you going to Gen Con this year?
I'm thinking.
I'm trying. I'm super trying.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna maybe hit some cons next year, 2018, because then in theory I will have more money than I do now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a privilege to be able to afford these things. But they're cool.
All right. Now, definitely come check us out. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Everyone's Twitters are on here's, and we all play games on the internets. That's it for us today. Once Upon a Game. Tune in tomorrow for Under the Fallen Maple, episode 3, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific. And then I'm also doing part 2 of the Quiet Doggo Years on Friday. So plenty of stuff coming up this week. And I'm out of here. All right, so see you guys.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in.